Gotta watch everybody, it get tricky out here. Look both ways, it get busy out here. Better check the weather, it get sticky out here. It's heated out here, shit be on fire. Yeah, shit be on fire. I came a long ass way.
It really is. And you are is that a blunt?
But it's hemp. It's a hemp blunt. It's a hemp blunt.
Come a long way.
I know. You know I don't do tobacco blunts. I'll choke out.
Wow.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to In the Clouds with Puff and Parlay. I'm CeCe.
And I'm Renee. And let's fire it up.
Man.
You started.
I think I'm going to attempt to do just a little bit of this because I don't want to get too sappy.
Sappy?
Yeah,
I just feel like sappy moment.
I don't know why. I just feel like it's gonna be sappy today, and we didn't bring any tissue, so I gotta keep it together.
To bring some tissue because we did have a couple moments, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah. I got lashes. I can't cry too much, The makeup, the lashes.
You just gotta do it pretty. You gotta put your head back, let them roll straight down,
hold it all together all the time. I'm used to that. But here we are. We said we were not going to do a podcast.
And here we are doing a podcast.
Hello. And hello to everybody out there that doesn't know who we are yet.
Yeah, we are two canna moms that did not plan on coming out publicly to the world, out of the green closet, as we like to call it.
Please define that.
The green
out
closet.
Part because a lot of people think we're together, like an item.
Oh, yeah. No. We are
strictly dickly.
Yes. And we're together in sisterhood.
Motherhood.
Cannahood. And everything except for what y'all want it to be.
Yeah.
Some of y'all want it to be. So.
Your imagination is your imagination.
Yes. Whatever does it for you. If we could put a smile on your face, then I'm good.
So be it. What are you smoking on today?
I am smoking on whatever you pass to me. So you tell me what I'm smoking on. I can always guarantee that whatever Renee is going to give me is going to be great. So
you got some runs today.
I trust.
You got some runs.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't get that paid promo, so you got some runs today.
Damn it. All right.
However, I'm really loving this vape pen. Look at how cool it is. It's something really, really different. We're used to just the regular pen-like vape situation.
You went
it's
the
like
old
a pipe.
Man. You went to the old man, old school pipe.
I did. Oh, didn't get anything though.
Hit it again.
She might have turned off on me. I might have to go to the.
Would you like this?
Let's see what's happening. Yeah, I think I will take that. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I overdid it already because I've been hitting it since this.
Maybe it was telling you
morning.
You're not an old man. You're a sexy, young, spry woman.
You know what? I will gladly put that to the side for some old man then, and pick up
old man that comes with some sugar.
A lot of sugar. I don't need a little sugar. I need a lot. A lot. Got a lot of time to make up for. Okay, a lot's happening over here for me. Is this a sign not to consume today?
Come here.
How can I be Puff and Parlay and not be able to consume?
I got you. There we go. We always have each other's back.
Yeah, and I think that's really what started this mission without us even realizing it. Because if you don't know, I used to run from CeCe when we worked back in the day and had to hide my consumption use from her because I might have got fired. Because to work with CeCe is to know that she don't play. Oh, she didn't play that because now she sends me out to consume sunflower. And during.
Now that I know that it helps you and it helps everybody involved, around you that you consume, then it just makes sense. And it just really, we had our own stigmas in our mind about cannabis, even though we're both consumers. In my mind, I hadn't seen anybody necessarily that would consume and still be able to function and function well and function highly, actually.
So are you saying like I was the first person that showed you that?
That I'm aware of, yes.
Okay.
That I'm aware of. But remember, I didn't know for about 5 years that Renee, when we were working together, that she was consuming on the job, consuming cannabis on the job. I just knew that she was kicking ass. And according to
Studies,
the stereotypes of cannabis consumers, we're lazy, we're unproductive, we're, out of our minds. We can't function. And I think that how and why we started this is to let people know that it can be furthest from the truth, and it depends on the person. We found that individually, how you consume cannabis and what you use cannabis for, whether it's medicinally or recreationally, whether you're doing it for headaches, whether you're doing it for your anxiety, whether you're doing it for, you're a menopausal woman like
which
us.
we're venturing into.
It really is how you consume it and what works for you, and it worked for you. So what could I say?
There was no denying.
No.
You're like, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Keep doing it.
I would say, it's no different than, well, let me not say that. It is very different than taking pharmaceuticals or anything. No shame to anybody that needs to take any type of medication. But I was also offered that route and recommended to go, the route of pharmaceuticals because of depression and anxiety and all the stuff that comes from trauma that we deal with in life. And if you know me, I've had a lot of it. So I don't want to cry, but here we go.
What'd I say?
Why is it always me, though? It all has to get worked out, I guess, here.
And cheers to cannabis.
Cheers to cannabis. But, yeah, let me see. I was, recommended to go in those directions. And I did for a short while. I'll probably say like less than 30 days. I didn't even give it enough time to work in my system because what I felt with that already was not what I wanted to feel anymore. And I feel for myself, I've always had, I lost my parents at 10 years old. So I feel like I've always had to listen to Renee and be there for Renee, So it was
survivor mode.
Survivor mode. And I was introduced to cannabis, ironically, by somebody that was supposed to be, my guardian, and I think in her mind, she thought that it was going to do what people say it's going to do, make you lazy, make you dumb,
calm
make
you down, just put you in the corner and
shut you up.
Yeah.
Because people that do bad things to you want to shut you up.
Right.
Well, it quite did the opposite. But I didn't realize that until later. And more so now that we got into this mission of Puff and Parlay, because I was able to now sit with cannabis and be in cannabis and talk about cannabis and realize how much it's helped me throughout my whole life. And I feel that if I would have taken that medication, that also causes other issues, and the list keeps going and going. I don't have that effect with cannabis, and somehow my body knew that.
Now, it was like the numbingness of the pharmaceuticals and making you feel loopy where you could not function, right? And that a lot of that is why you stop, because if you have to go, you're a single mom, you have to be able to constantly be on the move, and those pharmaceuticals were not effective in that manner because it just kind of puts you in a daze, right?
Absolutely. One morning I woke up and I had to take the kids to school, and without even realizing it, I'm just moving. I backed up out of my garage and tapped my neighbor's car. It wasn't anything noticeable, but the cannabis would never have done me like that. What? I was like, wait, okay, I'm
Yeah.
loopy right now.
Yeah.
And this is not right for me. That's not how I wanted to feel. I still needed to feel somewhat present, and know what was going on, and I say somewhat because a lot of people say you're not present at all. And I think that's really not the case at all.
I think people can't separate the trauma that you have from the cannabis, where I think that from my observation, it's your trauma that keeps you distant and unaware, like unpresent
Absolutely.
with people. It's not the cannabis. The cannabis allows you to
come
be in
out
the
of that
present
trauma
and work through some things. So that's just my observation. Of course, I'm biased, but
Well, nobody has ever asked me why I consume cannabis. They just judge me for consuming cannabis.
Right.
So it's, in all the years, I don't think anybody's ever asked me why.
And I think that people base it off of their experience. They may have had like one bad experience or something with weed, or have seen somebody that, they felt the weed made them lazy, which, there are certain strains with certain people. They could have been on the wrong stuff. That's a whole different subject.
The strains also, and the time, because you can consume a strain one day and a strain the next and it not affect you the same way. So it's also just really listening to your body.
Yes.
And I think, between the two of us, we really show how cannabis can be, some people need more, some people need less.
Yes.
So I love that with our story together, being moms, being out here, and really just sharing with the world how important it is and the different uses of it. Because let me tell you, it's not just the flower, it's topicals.
Yes.
Edibles, which are your favorite. Look, I'm really jealous. I can't enjoy an edible because, the guilt and the stigma still lives. And as long as we've been doing this,
yes, there's still stuff we have to knock off within ourselves.
Because
it's a constant journey.
But I'm
so much
out
to learn.
now. There's no denying that.
No.
Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Sometimes things that are connected to my socials, I'm like,
I know.
I don't know if I can give this person this, because then you're gonna find me. And if you haven't found me yet, there's probably a reasoning for it. We have kids.
I know. We do.
And I let my kids go to your house while you're having a party, and probably
drinking.
There is alcohol and nobody's batting an eye. But if I came in with, my stuff, it would be the end of the world. And there's still a stigma. I mean, there's kids present also, but there's a way to do things. We do bud bars.
And it's crazy.
We do lit lounges that people can
have at their party
instead
of a bar.
Hey,
I'm telling you, it's a different vibe and situation if there's cannabis at a party than there is alcohol. And there are people that do both. And then there's people that just, are alcohol, some people that are just weed. But why can't we all be also together? Why do they always put us in the corner?
They're even if they let us know, right?
Right. They'll still I had went to a party, and as soon as you walk in, one of the first things you see is just a table full of alcohol, right?
Very normal.
And kids are around and everybody's running around. Very, right.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And then I go and I'm polite. I ask the owner of the house, am I allowed to smoke? And she was like, yeah, but can, go around the corner. So me and a few other people go around the corner, but we're still in the fucking corner. And the owner of the house was cool with it, but somebody else was kind of telling her
you letting them do that?
Right.
Still allowing that? Who are those friends? Who do they belong to?
Are they going to eat everything? Are they going to eat everything?
I knew we were making a difference when I went to my family's house for the first family get together, and they said, go and get your stuff and go ahead and go to the back. I was like, huh? No more sneak offs?
Is it? But see, it's great when at least, I feel like we can do that around the people that we're close to, and they're like, good. I think that wouldn't have happened before we started Puff and Parlay.
Absolutely not. I went and hid. Like, I would go to the house, I got to go get something, go to the store. The cousins that consume rolled with me, and then we rolled back. It was, they knew what we were doing.
Right.
Come on. So, but why are we having to do this? Because look, I want to get high sometimes and I can't. Like, can I just, like, it's truly medicine for me to where
it really is.
I used to drink also a lot. I don't drink anymore. CeCe doesn't. You might find me on occasion with a glass. So don't come knocking for me if
don't
you
be like,
see
you
me
said,
like,
you said.
But to know me is to know that I drank.
Right.
And I don't anymore. And that was a decision through this platform that we've created, because I was like, why do I drink?
I think that's so beautiful.
Like, I go to my families, they're not alcoholics, but people like to drink around the holidays, festivities. It's just the thing that we do, know? So it's kind of normal to be like, all right, cool, make me a drink. But I never really cared for it. Like, I didn't care for the way it made me feel.
Right.
So why was I doing this? And yet I'm what everybody calls high. How are you making decisions not to drink alcohol? Right?
I mean, that's another thing. Alcohol, it really affects everybody differently too. And as we got older, when I was younger, I was able to drink, but
you used to make the best drinks ever. When we drank, let me tell you, we got on this tangent where we drank, and we weren't alcoholics. Don't get it twisted. But CeCe would make, it depends what you call an alcoholic. But I mean, we were making drinks probably like every few nights. Until you couldn't drink anymore.
It just was like I was getting sick, and I was like, no matter if I drank a little bit or a lot, I was having, hangovers, no matter what, major headaches, completely dehydrated.
So why do we keep drinking when we feel like that?
I think that people are slowly stopping, but there are some people that it doesn't affect them like that.
Waking up to it?
Yeah, it doesn't affect them like that. And so they're like, what are you talking about? But it also, I felt like for me, alcohol was... at the end of the night, I would either be crying or I'd be fighting. And like,
I always had to look at my phone the next morning, like, who did I text? Like, with one eye open, like, no, like, I never had to do that after having a joint. No. Maybe a few edibles.
That's if they're bad edibles, just
because I really don't look at. So the difference between like flower and edible for me is like edible just gives me like an out of body feeling. I have no control, and I don't like that. Where flower is a sigh of relief, like a hug. A blanket, a warm, heated blanket.
And mine's more of is the opposite. Like, to me, I feel like when I'm on edibles, I am like in a good space. Like, I feel like I can think a lot clearer. And it's like, I do like the body high, especially I think probably because I am perimenopausal and my body hurts like for no reason, like so much, just random stuff here and there.
Where I didn't know you could have aches and pains at.
Like, what is that? Have I always had this? Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it's been more effective for me and later in my life than it ever even did in my younger years. Not to say that it, I didn't utilize it when I was younger, but I utilized it more time to time to be creative. Like, I was and to slow down my mind a little bit, because my mind, I'm a Gemini, my mind is like nonstop. And so yes. And so it's like, it never, there was never a time to just, I wouldn't say rest all the way, because I'm still functional. I just did not choose to consume and be around other people a lot. I did maybe in my 20s, but the older I got, the less and less people I wanted to smoke around, because it was more of a very spiritual thing. in my late 20s and 30s. It was very creative and very spiritual.
And that was just for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I've had different phases with cannabis in my life, but in every phase, it served a pretty awesome function.
I love that for you. I feel like cannabis has like literally just held me together and kept me alive. So there is different uses for everybody.
Yes.
But I didn't know that
Yeah.
all those years. Like and there's sometimes I consumed way more than other times, you know?
Right.
There's sometimes that I just stop because I don't feel like consuming. So I feel like it's really important to listen to your body also, you know, as far as what and why and how you're consuming.
Yeah. It's more useful that way. When you're younger, we weren't even thinking about that. We were just consuming.
No.
But then there also wasn't all this information that there is out now. And then more people, there's more studies, there's more people, you know, spreading the word. And it's just...
There's still a very bad word going around too.
There is.
You know, the propaganda.
I mean, but say, how many years ago was there ever, you know, cannabis influencers?
No.
So there's a whole, you know,
There's
it's created a
definitely,
whole, and these cannabis influencers are getting the word out, you know, about how it helps them in their lives, you know, and everybody has their own story. And I would really, you know, like anybody who is kind of curious to, you know, venture off into the kind of community on social media and see, you know, what inspires you.
I didn't realize the community was as big as it was until we were in it.
That's because, listen to me, Renee and I... We did no research. We just did it based off of us and when we started Puff and Parlay, it's us, where we are right now, and who we are. You know what I mean? And we just wanted to kind of just highlight that. And then when we started to Puff and Parlay on Instagram, we started to do the lives during COVID.
Yeah, you can go to our Instagram and check out all our past lives that we've been doing for the past 5 years, you guys. 5 years.
Five. Very rarely missed Fridays in those 5 years.
Very rarely.
I mean, we've done it in other countries
Yeah.
while working.
12-hour days.
Motherhood, life, a pandemic.
All through the pandemic.
Man, Puff and Parlay saved our lives.
No, it really has. And I'm kind of sad we don't do the Friday night lives anymore.
Man, that was tough. That was tough.
I really feel that was like our end of week, like, come together.
Right.
And I know the boys were more mad about those lives ending than anybody probably, because they're
got
like,
to be
what
together.
about us? You know, like, they got to hang out. We got to do what we did, and we connected and vibed with y'all. Ended the week, started the weekend, and it was just a time to just
release.
Yeah. And I don't know, we'll have to figure something out because I feel like we need that.
I think so too.
And I feel like if we need it, other people need it.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. But you will catch us on Fridays on the podcast.
Yeah. 12 noon, you know. Bing. But
it is a different vibe. But I am excited for this new journey. I feel like it is work, you guys. I know you see us and oh my goodness, you all just smoking, you guys vibing, having a good time. Let me tell you.
Just because we enjoy what we do does not mean it's not work.
We worked hard for many years prior to Puff and Parlay to get to here.
Yes.
And I believe it was all for
this.
Even though it's work.
That red string theory, it was all tied together.
Who'd have thought?
Not I.
I definitely know, not you. Maybe I somehow, but you
together?
and I together? I didn't think that at all. Like, CeCe and I worked together and went our separate ways. Like, we didn't hang like that, y'all. Like, it was project to project.
Right.
And I think we're very much both alike in the sense that we're not needy to a sense of like, why didn't you call me? Where you at? What's going on? We just rolled with life and how life played out for us. And look where we are, girl. Not too bad.
Not too bad.
I'm happy. I'm learning to find my happy, as you know.
Yes. Yes, we all are. Isn't that's a constant journey? Because where you are in life, your happy is going to be different.
Journey forever.
I know. I know. It's going to be it's still going. It's ongoing. It's going to be great.
I think the best part, some of the best parts is just the collaborations, the people that we've met along the way, community, just like-minded individuals that can just get out there and show the realness of cannabis, and along with that, look at these amazing bongs we have right here, girl.
I know. There used to be a time where we used to be like, oh, look at all those bongs. Now, guess what? We get a lot of bongs. We have a lot of bongs.
I have no bongs. We need bongs. Remember? And I would be sitting there like, if you come to my house, y'all can pick a bong. For real.
Right. No, like for real. Like we could start a bong museum.
Should we start a
Bitch,
bong?
we got to cut that from the... Okay. No, I'm just kidding. There might already be one. We don't know. We don't do our research.
Regardless,
we just be jumping in.
It won't be Puff and Parlay way.
No.
We got a way about doing things.
Yes.
And it just is what it is.
I think that might be a good idea. But, if you guys want bongs like these, they have everything from, look at this. Since you're closer, can you show? This is like a fucking VW bug and it has smoke inside of it. And it's got a little surfboard on top.
Surfboard.
Man.
I loved this when I saw it. I mean, the clouds.
It reminds me of my dad. He had one of those when we were younger, which is a dead giveaway that I'm pretty sure that he had to have consumed. Like, what man with a VW bug in
so you feel
the 70s
had a VW bug in their family probably consumed?
I'm just saying. But
there are tales and signs.
But go to Hemperco, you guys. Get you guys. The pieces are like amazing.
There's so many different ones. Like this is just a few.
You can get lost. Like when you get on there,
for days.
Expect to spend some time and then, take notes of which one you want because you're going to want to start a collection.
And they'll be delivered straight to your doorstep. So you don't even have to worry about getting in your car and going to... I feel like people are still a little weary about like going to dispensaries.
They are.
So there's delivery, but then you don't know what you're going to get or whatnot. So I
get it mailed to you.
Yeah. This is great.
And so they have subscription boxes, different sizes, so that you don't even have to do the thinking, too. There's like, large, medium, and then hand pipes. They have this, look at this little hand pipe. Is this like, are these maracas? What are they called?
Sure. AKA mini pipe.
I know. So if you don't want like a full... like bong collection,
load. They got little minis too, y'all,
so that you can put them away in drawers. They're dope. So you guys really check them out.
And use code Puff and Parlay
at checkout. Just saying.
Not on the subscription boxes, so don't come at us. Just go shopping.
Okay. Now I have a silly question for you before we leave.
Great.
Okay.
Why do you always do this shit?
Because it just has to happen.
You guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm the serious one. She's the silly one. And we kind of have to just balance each other out a little. And we're working on it.
Yes.
CeCe has
softened
a lot of work to do.
But I've softened her.
She has softened me. This whole situation
is soft.
Is soft. But it's very hard still. Go on, silly.
Okay. If a giraffe wore a necktie, would it be up here on the top of his neck or at the bottom of his neck?
I'm going to go Oh my goodness. I feel like it would be a belt if it was at the bottom of his neck at that point.
So you're saying the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the top. What about you?
I think the top, because if he bent down and it was at the bottom and he went to go like bend down for something, then he's going to drag the tie.
Oh, because it's going to be hanging.
Yeah.
I think of that part. I just thought it would be like a belt at that point.
Yeah. You guys, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. In the clouds with Puff and Parlay. Next time.
See you later. Catch us in the clouds.
Gotta watch everybody, it get tricky out here. Look both ways, it get busy out here. Better check the weather, it get sticky out here. It's heated out here. Shit be on fire.